Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Preller here with your skills block lesson for the day. For today's lesson, you're going to need a whiteboard, dry erase marker, and an eraser. You can also use the plastic sleeve that we sent home in the mail. If you don't have any of that, it is totally fine to use a pencil and paper. Our learning target is I can break apart the sounds I hear in words, and I can write magic E words. Okay, we're going to switch over to those supplies. Let's get started. Boys and girls, so here we go. I've got my sound boxes here. I've got my left tapper hand ready, and I'm going to start with that target about breaking apart the sounds I hear in words, which means tapping it out. We want to be able to listen for the letter sounds. I also want to remind you that we are working with the magic E. Now the magic E makes the vowel say its name. So if we have A, it's going to say A. If we have E, it's going to say E. If we have I, it's going to say I. If we have O, it's going to say O. And U is going to say U. And that's what we're going to be working on today. Without the magic E, U says With the magic E, U says U. So I want you to think about that, and I'm going to even leave that there for a little reminder. Okay, so the first word we're going to tap out is cut. Use the scissors to cut your paper. Let's do this one together. Cut. Let's write it down together. So we have K. What letter says K? C. That's U, but it's saying it's not saying its name, so we don't need the magic E for this one. Cut. Check it. Cut. Good job. Now I'm gonna add that magic E, and I want you to try to sound it out and figure out what this new word I just made was. So before it said cut, but when we add the magic E, it's going to make U say its name. So sound it out, and when you get to the U, say U. Go ahead and try it. Cute. Cute. We just turned cut to cute. Great job. That was just a little check to see if our ears are remembering what that magic E does. Now, gonna erase and we're gonna get ready for our next word. Okay, the next word we're gonna tap out and write down is the word mule. A mule is a cross between a donkey and a horse. Mule. Mule. Okay, What says U. So I hear that U sound. Yule. There's that L. Now I hear U saying its name, so what do we add? The magic E. It's making the U say its name. Now you might be wondering, Miss Preller, why did you put the magic E in the same box with the L? Well, remember, these boxes are not letter boxes, they are sound boxes. And each sound has to go into its own box. But because the magic E does not make a sound, it's not going to go in a different box. It's going to go in the last box with the L. So I know that's a little tricky, but remember, these are sound boxes. Okay, now that we wrote and checked the word mule, we're going to erase. The next one I'm going to have you try first, and then check it with me. If you need extra time, you can pause the video to give yourself extra time. The next word is tube, like a tube of toothpaste. Tap it out and write it down. Go ahead, give it a try. Did you tap out tube? Tube? And did you write down T? Tube. And what's making that U say its name? Because right now this does not say tube, this says tub. We need that magic E to make the U say its name. Good job, you just wrote tube. Good. You may erase. And remember, parents, you can snap a picture while your child's working to send it to your students' teachers. Because this is on an erase board, you won't really have a final product to send us like you do in writing, but it's still something we want to see your child and how they're doing, so you can send us a picture or two to let us know. Okay, boys and girls, the next word I want you to try tapping out and writing down on your own is the word use. Use. Safe bodies when walking in the hall. Use. Tap it out and write it down. Okay. Use. Use. I was kind of quiet on that one. Okay, check it with me. Use. Use. So I've got U. Z. Now sometimes Z and S make similar sounds. I'm going to tell you in this case it's actually the letter S. It's trying to trick you. Now right now this just says us. To make the U say its name, we need that. Oops. I forgot my own rule. Now right now this just says us. To make the U say its name, we need that magic E, and I put it here because magic E is still not making a sound, so it's sticking with the last sound box. Use. That's how you spell use. Good. Gonna erase, and we've got one last word for today. The last word was fume. Fume. A fume is kind of like a smelly gas that might leak out of somewhere. Ooh, that is a stinky fume. Go ahead and tap it out and write it down. Okay, check with me. Fume. Fume. So I have, what letter says F? Fume. Now, because that's saying U, we gotta add the magic E. Fume. Fume. Great work, boys and girls. Our reflecting on learning question is, what does magic E do to a word? Remember, magic E makes the vowel say your name. And I like to shake my finger when I do that, say your name, because it's really important to remember that when A is making the long sound, it's saying A. When E is making the long sound, it's saying E. When O is making the long sound, it's saying O. When I is making the long sound, it says I. And when U says the long sound, it says U. And that's going to help us as readers and writers, because when we go to read a word and we use the short sound and the word doesn't sound right, we want to flip that vowel and say the long sound. Same with writing. We want to make sure that if we hear a vowel saying its name, we use that magic E to make sure we're writing the word correctly. Well, that concludes our lesson for today. It's been great learning with you guys, and I can't wait to learn with you again tomorrow.